All right. So, guys, Candace is like my best friend. And the other day we probably FaceTime a couple times a week, no matter what. Um, she's the type of person that I can just call her whenever I want. She can call me whenever she wants, and we just answer. We just talk for like an hour. I just love her so much. If it wasn't for this business, I would have no idea who she was. She really is. The other day, I was on a FaceTime with her, and I was just out of nowhere. You're my best friend. And she goes, "You're mine too. I just didn't know if we should talk about this out loud." But no, she really is my best friend. And she's taught me so much with this business. And she taught me how to like basically be myself and just share every day and like repeat yourself, because everybody, not everybody's going to see your stuff all the time. She'll talk about that more tonight. I mean, stats, I keep calling them stats. She made fun of me. What are they called? Accolades? They're awesome, but I mean, the work that you do behind the scenes is even better. So she is a Success Club All-Star. No, I lied. Success Club All-Star 10 legend, which means she got Success Club 10 or higher for 24 months straight, which is huge, obviously. A success starter, which is huge, which I try to make all of my new coaches get. It's hitting Success Club 5 or higher in your first 3 months. And she is currently a 1-star, but I mean, like I said, rank is awesome, but she makes like $1,000 a week, just like crushing life. She got to quit her job and all that fun stuff. She talked about all the time. If I was you guys, I would seriously follow her. Just to get ideas, and I mean, she'll talk more about the pictures. But anyways, Candace, thank you so much for being here. Oh my God, Michelle, at the bottom of your screen, at the bottom left, hit like start video or something. But anyways, I feel so weird because it's Audrey on your name, on your face, but this is Kandace Rogers. You can go ahead. She's going to be sharing about attraction marketing, which I swear to you guys is why she has people coming to her. She does not have to message people anymore. It's because of the consistency that she did in the beginning, and like she never stopped posting, like a couple times a day, 3, 4, 5 times a day, has never stopped, and shares her story every single day. But pictures matter, and that's what she's going to talk about tonight. So, all right, I'm gonna shut up so you can go ahead, Candace.
No, that's totally fine. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's the disclaimer with that, is that people come to me now, but it's because I was consistent as F the first 1.5 years of my business. And I never really let up on that consistency now. Like I'm not going to go over my story because you guys already know that. And if you don't, it's on my blog. I lay everything out and I tell it every single day over and over and over. So if you follow me, there's a chance that you will be exposed to my story consistently. So I wanted to start off with that I love freaking marketing. I think it's so much fun. It's like my passion. And through coaching, we get to do freaking crazy marketing on ourselves, like not the products, ourselves. So I want to start with bringing attention to energy, because I realized in this business, energy is what keeps people. So I wrote a lot of notes. So bear with me if I squirrel brain. I kind of just brain dumped all over the page here, and I didn't even bother to organize it because it's good information. So we'll just go with it for now. So I want you to think about what attracted you to your coach. For sure, like it was because they were energetic, right? And like upbeat and positive and happy, and they had some sort of vibrancy about them, and they were happy. They were fun, enjoying their life. And they were enjoying what they do. And I see sometimes coaches post things and they look super miserable. And I'm like, nobody would want to join you. Like, why? Like be excited, like share what you're doing and how it's fun. And I wanted to bring another point to that is if you're not having fun, can you guys hear me? I look like I'm lagging.
No, yeah, you are lagging, but
it's the RV park internet. It blows. Sorry.
I wanted to say before you keep going that Candace is my tribe. She is tough love. So just she's really nice for real life. She just really tough love and gives it to you. You can keep going.
I try to be tough love, but only because it's helpful. Like I want you guys to succeed. That's why I'm not shaming you by any means. I'm just being real with you. Like this is what I've done, and this is what I've done to get here. So if you want to get to where I've gotten, this is what I do, so not shaming or anything like that or saying that anybody sucks by any means, because we're all awesome. Obviously, we're on my tribe and Haley's tribe, so super awesome. So yeah, stay on point with your brand. I think this is super important when posting. Like, I know we talk in the beginning about, like in trainings about passion points. So for me, for my passion points, I would say it's adventuring, motocross, fitness, food, RV, and then of course like husband. I have like maybe 5 or 6 that I kind of rotate. And I talk about those things and I kind of share those things consistently, just rotating them on my social media. That way, when people come to my page, they know what I'm about and they're not confused. Like, she talked about dogs last week and now she's talking about traveling and now she's talking about sewing and now she's talking, you know, like, we control how people view us. We control that. Like, we shape how they see us. And so by narrowing down how you want people to view you with passion points, things like that, it gives them an idea of what you're really about. And obviously make sure it's on brand and true to you, things that you actually enjoy and like. Otherwise it's going to be really hard to talk about something. Like, I don't share recipes like all the time because I don't enjoy cooking. So I don't market myself as like a chef, but I do like to eat clean and get results. So I share, you know, food here and there mixed in with it. And I'm going to say it, photos matter. Photos freaking matter. Okay. This business is photography. That's the first thing that everybody sees. If it's not a video, they see the photo. So if the photo isn't attractive to the person you're trying to speak to, chances are they're not going to read your post unless they've been following you for a long time and you happen to have one that caught their eye a while ago, or maybe it's your mom or something, you know, but photos matter. So my first tip for that is face the light. And I always tell people this, like, with your face to the light. So like right now I have a light. This is what I do my makeup in, but I'm facing it for the sake of this video, right? So whenever I'm holding my phone, I'm facing the light, like, go to the light, right? Something that's super helpful to me is that I stock up on photos. So today I did my makeup and I was like, okay, like, how many different shirts can I put on and take different photos in different areas of my house to have for later on, maybe in a day where I'm laying in my pajamas and I don't feel like looking pretty, that I can use that. That's a really helpful tip that has saved me so much time and energy in this business, you know, because when you're sitting in bed at like 10 and you're like, crap, I forgot to post today. I need to post something. Like, most of us probably don't do this because we're all 10 out of 10s in this business, but we all have those days. And then you can scroll through your phone and be like, oh, I have a shit ton of content from that one day I looked pretty and wore lipstick. And you can put that out there. Like, nobody's going to know, right? And it's helpful and it's still you and it's still on point and it works. So yes, that's my second tip. I actually have a lot of tips, so bear with me. Sometimes I'll get myself done up and I'll bring like multiple outfits out and I'll just keep changing my shirt and just take a bunch of photos in different places just so I have content. That's been really helpful for me. People think I'm crazy, but it just helps mix it up, because if I have like 10 photos in a row and I'm wearing this Insandy Max 30 shirt, every single one of them, it just kind of starts to look repetitive, right? So I hope that makes sense.
People will like look at your picture and be like, cool, I already read that post because it looks the same. You know what I mean?
That's a perfect point. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. And plus, if you're an avid, it doesn't matter as much for Facebook, but if you're an avid Instagram user, you want variety while still staying on brand and cycling your passion points around, because that's how Instagram works. You want balance, but you also want versatility. Is that the right word?
Yeah, for sure.
So my next point is, I think natural light is obviously the best. Some of us can't go take photos all day long, but if you ever have a day where you can, I think it's super important to stock up on natural light photos. I know Audrey just invested in the Diva light and it's so freaking amazing. She can literally take badass photos at midnight. No big deal. She just has like an awesome backdrop or whatever, and they look so freaking amazing. You would never know. I need to get that. I've been lazy. It's a business investment, but like natural light is best. So like if you're in your house and you have a window and it's like your window with like the best light, take pictures in front of that. Face it. I know your girl Amber always has her little spot in her bedroom that's like got the best light that I always see her photos in, and I'm like, yeah, that works.
That's weird. The only thing about that is, like, when I'm on Instagram, I always have to look back at my Instagram to see my photos all together. And I'm like, if I took a picture in this window, I can't take a picture in this window tomorrow. You guys are going to think I'm crazy, but cool. I don't want the same freaking background every single time. So I'm like, going to go to another window and another window, or go outside, or take a picture of, you know, a shake if it's not your face. You can't have the same picture in the same background, I think, all the time, because it's like, cool, Instagram.
No, you're totally right. And that's funny, because that was my next point, was mix up your photos and locations of your photo. And what I did one day was I went through with my phone on camera mode, and I went to every different area of my RV, and I found at what times the best lighting were in those areas. And I noted them, and I was like, okay, if it's 2 p.m., I know I can go in the bathroom. If it's early morning, I know kitchen is, you know, so I just try to mix it up according to that. Because yeah, you're right. I mean, you don't want to, at first I was only doing them in the kitchen. And then I had people actually tell me, oh, it's Kandace in her kitchen again. And I was like, oh shit, it kind of brought me to like learn a lesson. Like, I guess I should mix it up and stop having the same shit over and over and over and over. Right. So, yeah. And so I love this tip, and it sounds kind of total, douchebaggish, but I think it's important to, when you're taking a photo and when you're thinking about marketing yourself, that you look at it and you think like, I would want to be me, right? Like, I would want to be me. So I think that what I literally wrote on my list here is like having that I'm like too cool type of vibe. But the cool part about that is that that's what attracts the people, when you have that about you, and then you show them they can do what you do with your posts through your words. So you're not like having this photo where you look all awesome and modelly, and then in your post, it's like, can't sit with us. You know what I mean? You're like, we're showing people like you can, right? So we're attracting them, and then we're explaining to them, yes, you can. So that's kind of my mindset on that. Like, when I take a photo, I look at it and I'm like, am I attracted to that? Is there a toilet in the background? Is there like dog poop in the back? Are there things that stand out to me that I don't want people's eyes to go to? This is what I was telling my coaches the other day. We control what people see. If you take a photo and your toilet's in the background, my eyes go straight to the toilet. I just want like that, you know, we want people's eyes to go where we want them to go, whether it's on our shake or our happy smile or if we're working, you know. I hope that makes sense. That's just what goes through my head.
I don't know. I guess I should wait till the end, because I have something else that like.
No, add stuff, please.
You know how like, take a picture that has to do with your post. Because if you're talking about like how you're mad at something, and you're like, don't be smiling with the biggest, fattest smile in the world. Like, you gotta like think about, okay, what am I posting? What kind of pose should I be doing? And I know it sounds so dumb, but like, if I'm talking about like, you know, somebody just, you know, ignored me, or I don't know, something that's like kind of like a negative with the business, like I get really sad when people ignore me or something, I'm not gonna be like, you know? So like, you gotta think about if it makes sense with the post, I guess.
True, yeah, I wouldn't talk about food in a picture of my dog and me, so yeah. I mean, it 100% makes sense. I also, in my notes here, because I mean, Haley already, I know she says this a lot, but I tell my story every single day. And at first I was like, oh my God, everyone's going to see it and get annoyed. And then I realized only a fraction, like maybe this much out of like that much people see it. And the people that want to continually read my story over and over are looking for it and they want to read it. So like, why was I catering that to like the haters or the people that don't care? I should be catering to the ones that want to keep reading it. So I keep telling it over and over and over and over and over, and just different little tidbits and parts and details of it. I think that's super important as well. And of course, staying on brands. Sometimes if you have off-brand stuff, I think those are kind of good posts to put in the challenge groups, like more personal things that maybe don't have to do with, I don't know, building your business and marketing, Shakeology and fitness and, you know, your lifestyle and your vision. I don't know. I think sharing stuff like that in the challenge groups is totally acceptable. I can't think of an appropriate.
Are you going to share about marketing to the challenge groups?
Yeah, that's literally right next. You're reading my mind.
Thank you.
So yeah, I kind of was following some other coaches and what they do. And it kind of dawned on me that I was marketing a lot of the products other than Shakeology to my social media. And then I kind of was like, who cares about any of this? Because the only people that care about energize and that care about recharge and recover and hydrate are the people that are already doing this with us, because they want to enhance their already badass results. So then I was like, okay, so I need to stop talking about energize publicly, because what I was getting was a shit ton of messages like, what pre-workout do you use? What pre-workout? And then they'd never talk to me again. Like, how do I follow up? Hey, remember that pre-workout you asked me about? like it was just weird, and it was creating weird conversations, and just I was like, okay, I don't want to talk about pre-workout with people anymore. So I realized I need to stop sharing that. So I started sharing it in my challenge group. I'm like, this is why I drink Energize. This is why it helps me with my hammer and chisel, because I don't want to do it and it gets me off my butt, right? And so those are the people that want that kind of stuff. They're already invested and they're already on their journey and they're already killing it. So that's definitely something to think about. And it takes practice because we're so used to just talking about everything. So I mean, I make myself notes, like, talk about this and this in the challenge group. That way I don't forget. And then it'll become a habit and then we'll just do it. So I thought that was really important.
That really is, like, nobody cares about your liquid life. And I'm not saying like, don't do it, because I used to do it all the time. You did too, Kandace. We all did. But then it, just like Kandace said, people are talking about what pre-workout do you use, and then it never ends up in a good conversation. It ends up being like the dumbest conversation ever, and they're like, cool, bye, and they never talk to you again. So now I just started getting Recover, and I'm not going to talk about that on Facebook. I'm going to talk about that in my challenge group, because, like, I'm sure you were going to say this, but that equals team volume, and team volume equals where you get the big checks. If your whole team's drinking Energize and your whole team's drinking friggin' Recover or whatever, that equals team volume. And that's why, like, who cares about that stuff for Facebook? Yeah, I take a picture with it. That's cool. But you don't have to say it's my all natural pre-workout all the time. You could, definitely put that in your challenge groups. I think that's really smart. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's great. When I was sharing my pre-workout every day, I was sharing it on my Instagram, and I realized I started sharing that in place of Shakeology. And then I started getting people interested in only the Energize, and then it was weird. And then I was like, oh crap, how do I talk about Shakeology now? And I did it to myself. I just didn't mean to. I just got in that habit. So, I mean, we've all been there, and still sometimes I take a picture and I'm like, this is not for, okay. Like, I still have to talk to myself. Like, this is where this goes. So, my notes and everything are all over the place. So just to let you know, I think it's important to invest in your business in things that enhance your photos. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. These are biz write-offs or business write-offs as well. I think it's important to have a good camera. So if you don't have an iPhone and you have a Samsung, Samsung front facing screen usually takes turd photos unless you have the Diva light or you're like in blasting sun. I think it's important to invest in a good camera, in anything that will help you, be more vibrant. Because when I scroll through Facebook, if I see a dull photo, I just scroll right past it. Also, there's apps that you can invest in to enhance your photos. I think Snapseed is free. I want to say it's free. I use that one every day, almost every day, Snapseed. And I only use it to brighten my photos and adjust the lighting. And then I use the ViscoCam, VSCO, to adjust filter and stuff like that. And then I use Aviary only on occasion. Yeah, Snapseed, just like that. SNAPSEED. I use Aviary on occasion just to whiten my teeth, because I have white teeth, but there will be a time where I'll take a photo and for some reason it looks yellow or my filter made it look weird, and I'll adjust it because it's just, it wasn't attractive to me. And if I saw that, that's the first thing I would see was like, oh, so that's just what goes through my head. And those are all free. Those should be all free. I think it's important to invest in things like a Bluetooth clicker. You can get it on Amazon for like $3 to $5. That way you can set up, the white teeth one is Aviary, Aviary. Yes. Bluetooth clicker, tripod, and good lighting, then you will be freaking set. So when I started this business, I wouldn't want you to think you have to spend a shit ton of money. Because when I started this business, I didn't have any of that. I used the self timer on the iPhone. And as a tripod, I used rocks and shit outside. I just set it my phone on places. Then I used the self timer or video, and I would do screenshots, just so we're not always doing this, because this isn't always sexy. I mean, it's really not. And this is what all my photos looked like in the beginning, was this arm, and we can mix it up. Like, some of those are totally cool, but like, it was, for me in the beginning, it was consistent, like, arm photo. And then I realized, like, okay, this is getting old, and this is all my feed looks like is this. So I hope that makes sense.
It does.
The tripod and like Bluetooth clicker combo is less than $20 on Amazon. And it's one of the best investments I've ever made in my business. I use it every single day, and I wrote it off.
Dude, people are always like, who's taking your pictures? I'm like, mind your business.
I know.
It's always, the clicker, if I go, especially at the beach, you don't want to always be like up and close and personal. I'm like, we'll do a freaking cartwheel. Bing! And you have like the best picture ever.
Yep, true. And I try to hide the clicker. I don't want to be like, because I feel like that's kind of the same thing as taking a phone selfie. So I just kind of like, I'll put the clicker in this hand and I'll put it behind my head and I'll post. And you would never know, right? Like marketing.
Exactly.
So something I wanted to point out is for people trying to improve their social media game, I want you to think of who your favorite coach is. And then I want you to go analyze their social media and say, does yours look like theirs? Because you can get a pretty good idea of where you want to be and then see what they're doing and then try to kind of emulate in your own way, you know, because it's kind of hard to tell people like social media sucks because like nobody wants to say that, but like photos matter. So just check out your favorite coaches and see, does your social media look similar or anything like theirs? And
I love that.
I only have a page and a half more. Bear with me. So I saw this fun fact. I think we learned it in our elite group the other day. And it's kind of a stat about Facebook. It's 80% of what people consume on social media is video now. So I wanted to bring a point to how important doing videos is. You don't have to do them every single day. I tried and then I got bored of it. And then I was like, okay, people really aren't tuning into these because I'm like every single day. So I started breaking it up within every few days. But that gives people a really good idea into who you really are, and they can watch you grow. Like I talk about it all the time. I'm super uncomfortable. I'm literally sweating, like, and I'm wearing gray, which is the worst shirt color for sweaty people. But if I don't keep doing it, I don't improve, right? And people want to hear us talk. They want to, live videos. I don't even bother doing pre-recorded videos anymore unless I have to for a training because I can't physically be there. Or it's my workout. I'm lagging, but my workouts I pre-record so I can share a clip on Instagram to break up my Instagram feed, making sure I'm still doing the vitals and showing that, yes, I'm still showing up every day. Live videos, because you can't hide in a live video and they know that you're real. If you mess up, be like, hey, I messed up. You know, like Audrey was singing the other day and then she was like laughing and kind of like making jokes in the middle of it and then just went on with it. And I'm like, I love that. And it's like, it's real. It's live. Like, I love her for that, for seeing that she's not perfect, you know?
A couple things. So think like the outsider. I watch Patrick on Facebook and he doesn't know I'm watching. Scroll. And I see what he stops at. And it's not a friggin' dark photo. And it's not like a recorded video. It's like people care about what's new. So it's either a bright, fun picture or a live. I'm telling you, no one cares about recorded videos unless like a workout one, because that's old now, guys. It's old. People like to see if you mess up, if you're not perfect. So that's why I do my live videos, because that's another reason why I have so many, business builders and challengers come my way, because they're like, oh my God, this girl's like not even close to perfect. And she built a huge business being a shy little baby and she messes up all the time, but she still did it. If I was perfect, like I have this coach that I look up to every day, but the thing is she's too perfect. And I don't like saying that out loud, but like she is. If I ever saw her live video, I would be like, I could never be a coach. I could never do that. But like me, I stutter, mess up, forget my words. And they're like, wow, she's normal and she's shy and she's scared, but she's doing it still. Perfect is boring nowadays. But anyways, go ahead, Kandace. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. And Bree said VideoHance is a great video app. I use VideoHance and iMovie. You just can't add music to either of them, because if you add music and you post it on Facebook, it's going to get deleted because it's copyright. So you don't really need music anyways. Just show yourself grunting and stuff. People really like that. Like that ugly video of me working out I shared the other day. I was like, yeah, this is real. And I like made the most disgusting faces and people are probably like, wow, I don't want to join her team, but I shared it anyway. So, yeah. So another point, I think it's super important to audit your social media weekly. And what I mean by audit is go through and look at what posts for you are working. Like if you shared a photo, like my girl Krista shares family photos often, and they get the most traction for her. People love seeing her with her family. So she was like, okay, well, I already do my workouts with my family, but I just wasn't snapping a photo of it. So now she shares things like that. Like she started sharing her family in her workouts and then linking it to business and making it an intentional post, and it's getting way more traction. And this changes. This is funny because I have things that have worked for me like crazy that don't work worth shit now. So if people's like what they want to see changes, So I think that's why it's important to go through and audit our social media weekly, just to see what's working, what's not working. If it didn't work, you didn't fail, just don't do it again. Try something else. You know, like the only way we know is if we keep trying different things. So yeah, see what works, note it so you don't forget, and then see how you can maximize on that thing. Like with family, she started incorporating family into like family recipes, family working out, you know, to make it work for her because people liked it. I also want to say, I think it's important to remove all the clutter from your timeline. My team and I just went through and kind of audited ours, you know, in the About Me section where it's like, and then she learned English, and then she learned Spanish, and then she learned French, and then she went to school here, and then she's married to this person, and all her kids are these people. And it's like this long. It's like so unnecessary. It's your business. Like, yes, who you're married to, and then like your little tagline of what you're about, and maybe one other thing. But too much stuff, I'm like, bleh. You know, I'm like turned off by that. And that's just my personal opinion. Everything I'm telling you guys is all my personal opinion and how I think. It's not, this is right and whatever anyone else is doing is wrong. I just want to make sure you know that. This is what goes through my head.
Say one thing really quick. You already do this, Kandace. I know I told like a lot of my team, but there's some new people on that call. So if I was you guys, under occupation, do not write Beachbody, okay? Write self-employed, because if you're friend requesting random people and then they say Beachbody coach, they're going to be like, get the hell out of my face. That's like a huge tip for you guys.
Yeah. Totally agree. And I did put Beachbody when I first started because I was like so proud to work for this company. And, you know, every new coach does, because we're like super excited to rep a company that actually stands for freaking something real and changing people's lives, that we get really excited. We're like, I want to put my link everywhere. But it just looks salesy. And really, I mean, if the whole point of this business for us and reaching out to new people is creating that curiosity so they don't know right off the bat what you do, and they have to ask, because then they create that's the conversation creator. Like, hey, so you post about this workout every day, like why, what do you do? And then like they open the door and you walk through it, and now you're friends and you're talking, and it's a seed planted, right? And I've also noticed a lot of coaches putting profile pictures, timeline photos, and featured images with no captions. I feel like this is a huge missed opportunity. If you don't have captions, opportunity posts, this is a little excerpt into my life, and every single one of those, it's a missed opportunity, right? Because when you change your profile picture, you change your timeline cover or your featured images, it shows people on Facebook. And if people are going to like it, and if they click it, it's going to give them, hey, this is Kandace and I do this, blah, blah, blah. Every single one of my photos has caption to it. Timeline, featured images, and profile picture. Sometimes I'll just copy and paste the same thing over and over. I just don't want it to be blank. Does that make sense?
So much.
Like, I feel like it's a missed opportunity to not have something there explaining what you do and like, hey, thanks for coming to my page type of thing, right? Okay, so reading what I've already went through. Can I jump around? I think it's important for you guys to control what goes on your timeline. So if you go into your settings and you turn off people being able to post on your timeline and turn on tag approval. So people tag me in Husky videos, like Huskies in the shower and Huskies do whatever, like every single freaking week. And if I allowed things to just go on my timeline, like Huskies aren't my brand. Like I have one, but they're not my brand. So I don't want Husky video after Husky video cluttering up my my feed. So I turned on tag approvals, because people like to tag me in all kinds of stuff. I still go acknowledge. I'm like, hey, girl, oh my God, that's so funny, blah, 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 on the video. But I decline it from being on my timeline, because I want to be able to control that. I don't want to like go to sleep one night and wake up and someone tagged me in this spammy Ray-Ban sales or porn thing on my page, and it's been sitting there for 24 hours. And all the people I just friend requested last night go to my page and they're like, I don't want to be friends with this girl, right? Like, I think that's super important. This is your business. I saw a question. How often do you change your featured photos? I really like mine right now. I feel like I should change them more, but I just really like the ones I have. I don't know. I don't have a timeline on that. I mean, I try to keep them correlating with my brain fart. Correlating with my passion points. So I try to keep them moto, adventure, husband, RV, and I try to just interchange them. If I like take a badass photo one day and I'm like, ooh, this should go on my featured images, and I try to like weave it in, but I don't make it a point to change them all the time. But I mean, I should, I guess. Make sure your profile is also 100% public, because this is your business. And if you have a business and the doors are closed and the blinds are pulled and no one can see inside, like, how are you ever going to help anybody, right? And I was the girl. What?
No, go ahead.
I was the girl from day one that had my social media on 100% lockdown. Like, I thought that there were weirdos that were going to find me. I thought that, you know, like, I didn't want certain people to see my stuff, the haters, the friends I'm not friends with anymore, the people from high school didn't like me. And so everything was locked down. And my coach was like, this is a business. Like, how do you expect to run a business if nobody can see your stuff? Like, how do you do that? And I was like, oh my God. So I took like 2 days before I became a coach, or the first like day before I did the public thing. I went through my whole Facebook. I privatized all my albums to only allow what I wanted people to see for my coaching business. So like my mobile uploads, Instagram, timeline, and featured images are pretty much the only thing that you see when you go to my photos, because I have like, I shit you not, like 100 albums or more, and they're all private because I just didn't want that to be part of my brand. I deleted any photos that were in those albums that I did not want on my Facebook. And then I cleaned up my About Me section, removed all the things that linked me to all the family members and stuff like that. And I deleted all my past work because that doesn't matter anymore, right? Like, who gives a shit about my resume anymore? I don't need it, and I'm never going to need it again. So I deleted all that stuff, and I just made it super clean and fresh. And then I made it 100% public. And guess what? It didn't die. I became successful. So I know the struggle if you're like, oh, and if you have kids, like I can't speak to that, but I do know that you don't need to share the location of where you are with your kids all the time, because I know that's a big one too. You know, you don't have to tag or check in, or you can post a photo of you and your kids at night from the day and then tag the location in the day. It doesn't have to be at the exact time, you know, or if you don't want to share photos of them at all, don't. Like, I don't know. I can't speak to that. I'm not a mom, so sorry. I think it's important too to tag where you are in your photos, because this gets you max exposure. So sometimes I mix up my tags. Like, I'll tag the town I'm in, the park I'm staying in, the freaking freeway that's near me, and I'll just mix it up, because when people are searching locations, they're going to see my face in one of those locations. If I go to a store and I'm like taking a picture with my husband, I check us in at like Home Depot or whatever, because whomever is on that Home Depot page could potentially see my post and be like, who is this weird girl that's super happy that they're at Home Depot? You know, because you never know who's going to see your message. And that's the power of social media, you guys. Like, we can't think small with social media, because we have the means to reach people in the entire world. I know Beachbody is only US and Canada right now, but I've talked to people in every freaking single continent. It is so weird. And it's because of social media and hashtags and checking in and just getting my face as much exposure as possible. Like for go ahead.
Remember you told me she lives in an RV park and she changed her friggin' Wi-Fi name to CandaceRogers.com.
Yeah, that's my phone's name. I was just going to say that. Anything that connects, anything that sends out information on me that anyone can potentially see, I try to think, how can I make this like benefit me, right? Like, because that's like, it's like social networking. So my phone is my website, right? Like, why not? And if it wasn't, I would definitely make it my name, and I'd be like, let's be friends or something. Like, just any way to get people curious about me.
So, you know, say if somebody was bored and they were trying to get, you know how whenever you're somewhere and your Wi-Fi's on and it just tries to connect you to somewhere, it would like pop up and say CandaceRogers.com. And you'd be like, what? Who is she? I'm telling you, people would do that, and they would creep you, and they'd be like, hey, I just saw you, blah, blah, blah. And
I would do that. That's why I know, because I'm a creeper like that. So I'm like, how can I create that curiosity for people to want to know more about me and actually care, not like, you know, just me being, I don't even know where I'm going with that. I'm going to stop, because I was talking about being a douchebag and stuff. Haley just helped me with this, and I think it's important to pick a filter that suits you and your brand best and then commit to it. I wasn't using one. I did start my business using one, and then I stopped. And then we were talking about auditing my social media, and she's like, honestly, I think you need a filter to create more consistency with your page and your brand. And I was like, okay. So I spent some time picking one and setting it exactly how I wanted it. And now I've been using it for every photo. And I am happy to say when I go to my Instagram, it does look very clean and just like, you know, consistent in that sense that I do have a filter. So that's definitely something to consider as well. That way you kind of get that brand consistency down.
I think it's huge. If you go to somebody's page and like black and white, really bright, not bright at all, and all of a sudden you're like, people can decide in 1 second if they want to follow you or not. If you're all over the place, no one's going to follow you. Actually, I wanted to shout out Michelle really quick, because whenever I see a photo, Michelle, even if it's not your face, I know it's yours, which is huge.
And someone just asked a question, said, what is the best filter? I can't answer that because it depends on your brand. You need to go through apps and start trying them all. So what I do, this is how I found a filter. I go to my Instagram and I screenshot like a chunk of my pictures, and then I put that chunk of my pictures through different filters and see what looks best on the majority of how I photograph. And so that gives me an idea from like 6 to 9 photos, what they're going to look like with a consistent filter. So, and I would play with it. Like I do one and then I do it halfway, and then I go in and adjust the lighting just a little, and then the composition down just a little. And that's my filter. And I wrote those down so I didn't forget how to do it every time until it became a habit. And then I just do it like that. It takes me 2 seconds.
Yeah, it took me like one whole night when I couldn't fall asleep. I was like, I need a filter. I need to stick with it because I can't anymore with if I went to my Instagram at that time, I wouldn't follow me. So it took me like a whole night of not being able to sleep to find a filter, and now I'm obsessed with it. And you don't have to think anymore. You just use that filter no matter what. Like Kandace said earlier, we use Visco, VSCO, and I definitely did pay a couple extra dollars to check out the different types of filters.
Yep. And someone said, where do you get filters from? I said, literally any photo app. My favorite is the VSCO one. There's so many different choices. And then like when you click the filter, you can adjust it. You don't have to stay with like 100% filter on. You can like do halfway, adjust the lighting and adjust the whatever. Like you can make it your own. Some people even have like colors. I came across this girl's Instagram that had like this super vibrant hair, and I was really interested in her because her filter was always slightly pink. Like her highlights of all her photos were slightly pink, and it was every single one of them. And I was like, ooh, like I was instantly drawn to her because I scrolled and that was the consistency of her brand and I liked it. So yeah, I was drawn to her because of that. So that's kind of an important, filters are important. Sorry guys, I'm almost done. I think it's important to use props too, like fun cups for your Shakeology. And maybe like for me, I got that poop pillow thing and people love it. They love when it's in my photos. It's a prop, you know, it's not like I sleep with it, but the emoji things, like people like that kind of stuff and it stands out on social media. It's different. Sometimes like I just use a cup because it's pretty and it works with a photo rather than using that nasty plastic one. Like that doesn't look good to me in photos. I don't want it like it, you know, I mean, everybody has that. And if everybody's doing that, like we want to be different. We want to stand out. So you could totally go to TJ Maxx and you could pick out like your favorite glass cup and you could use it the same, you know, cup every picture for your Shakeology, or maybe 2 cups. Or mason jars are really pretty. Also, when I first started this and I wanted to post food photos, I went out and bought 1 plate and 1 bowl that matched. And I only used those plate and bowls for my photos. Like, and I just washed them and put them away. Like I didn't need the whole set. I already had a whole set of dishes, but for my photos, the plate and bowl that I bought that were bright white made it stand out. So those are what I use for my photos, and those are considered props, and all that stuff's a business write-off. Anything you buy for your business. I don't want to look down too far, you guys. We'll see my crazy bedhead. Seriously. I'm always like, oh God, don't look down, don't look down. It looks good in the front, but I don't know about the back. Story of my life. See, we control what people want to see, right?
Exactly.
We control how people want to view us. I look like I'm well put together. The back looks like I just slept for 12 hours straight.
That's hilarious. It's my life.
It's the truth.
Can I say something?
Please.
So guys, whenever I go, I go to like Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Rue 21, Forever 21 to buy shit that is for my brand. I think that I would like to buy a pizza shirt and really wear it all the time. It's for people to like to
what do you mean you don't want pizza all the time?
I mean, no, if it wasn't, no, I wouldn't do that, I don't think.
I know, just kidding.
So you know how it is? Like okay guys, I buy like 100 different types of glasses, so I look a little different. All the pizza stuff or like a weird outfit. I do it for the likes. We do it for the likes. The more people that you can thank after that, the better. You know, thank yous always turn into natural invites. But again, business write-offs. Every time I go shopping, it's for the business. I don't get these friggin' stupid t-shirts, tank tops for myself. I do it for the likes.
I was just going to say that exact same thing. I do it for the likes. Like I changed my hair up for my business because people needed to see a fresh new year. I was like, what can I do to stand out that's still going to be on point with my brand? So I dyed my hair purple, you know, and it was pretty. Everybody loved it. And I got a lot. It's like it freshened up my social media. And same as Haley says, I go shopping and I think about these things in my head when I'm shopping. So yeah, maybe they have these yoga pants that I want and they're like bright, I don't know, like let's say red. And I'm like, these are beautiful, but I don't wear red. So in my head, I'm like, well, how can I use this for my business? So I obviously need something that's more on brand for me. So I need like pink or purple or yellow. And I think of these things and then I can write it off because it's for my business, right? Like that I would be like, okay, now I can take a photo in this, or I look at things like, would this make a good photo? Would this look good in a photo?
Dude, I'm like thinking about putting
thoughts that go through my head when I go shopping is, would this make a good photo? And I'll see something, I'll be like, that'd make a great photo, that'd make a great background. I'm literally thinking in posts all the time. I feel like photos are they're kind of an art form. It's a way for us to express ourselves and who we are. You know, I don't want you to think you need to be like anyone else. I want you to obviously be you and own it. And I want to make sure I add this disclaimer that if you aren't good at photos, because I know there's people that I've talked to and on my team, they're like, photos aren't my thing. And I'm like, that's fine, because being good at photography, like to an extent, is a skill, and skills can be improved. So if you're not good at it, you know, YouTube, you know, selfies for beginners, because I do this all the time. Even still, I'm a sponge because I'm always coachable and I'm always learning, and maybe I might learn a new tip that could help my business. I shit you not. When I'm working my business, I have America's Next Top Model on sometimes, and I literally like fast forward to the photo shoots, and I want to see the tips and things that they're doing, because I learned that whatever you put closest to the camera is going to be the biggest, and whatever you put farthest is going to be the smallest. So if I'm taking a photo, I'm not going to be back here like this. My head looks like a little pea head, right? Like we have to think about these things because it matters. Photos matter. So learn, you know, watch YouTube, Pinterest tips, and then apply them and see how they work, because you can learn it. You don't have to be great at it naturally. You can learn the skill and you can own it and make it yours. And but that makes sense. Practice
every day.
It's not perfect, but close to it. Okay, I want to touch back on there. I have like 3 other things and then we're good, because I know it's been a while. My number one thing is energy matters, you guys. So like if you go to your social media and you're like fun and happy and genuine, you're not like, you know, because you can tell when a smile's fake because it's in your eyes, right? So like you have to show that you're happy, you know, like, and if you're not happy, you have to really look inside and think, why am I not happy? You know, what can I change? What am I doing? Because nobody's going to want to join someone that doesn't look like they're having a good time. Because if you don't look like you're having a blast doing this, like, I'm not going to do it with you. Like, really. I was attracted to my coach because she was going on trips all the time. She was super healthy and she was always excited about that. And she loved to help people and she shared that excitement and it came through in her photos. I almost didn't even have to read the caption to like want to join her. I was just excited by the energy portrayed in her photos. So energy keeps people, energy attracts people. Attraction marketing is really good photos paired with energy. I swear. Right. And we can perfect the posts later.
You know how many times me and Kandace were on FaceTime and she's like, hold on, I need to like make myself laugh for a second. And then she'll like make herself laugh, or I will too. And we'll snap a picture of ourselves laughing. Like, it sounds so stupid, but like, no, your body, whatever, it doesn't really matter. People are attracted to your smile.
They are. Your genuine smile. Like, hey, I'm happy because I'm genuinely happy with what I'm doing. Like, I want to do it with you.
Make a fart noise and start laughing.
Right? Make a fart noise. And then I want to touch on this too. If you share a problem on your social media, make sure you share the solution, because it's super awkward. And sometimes I come across these posts of people sharing a problem and it's just like a problem and that's all it is. And I'm like, okay, you know, like it doesn't feel good to read. And you're like, okay, it's just complaining. So think of that. And I don't know why I added it in there. I was like kind of going off of everything I was seeing this week. And I just happened to notice those a lot of posts with problems, but no, like, this is the solution. This is what I'm doing. And those are awkward. Like Haley says, you don't have to be happy all the time. So you don't have to have obviously an awesome, like, you know, we're not perfect. We have to be real. But if you're having one of those off days, you know, where you're not smiling and you're like, this is real life, like share the solution too. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have one, reach out to your coach. I'm sure they can come up with one to help you You know, that's like what we do, right? Is we have answers to problems. And I want to just reiterate that you do not need to be perfect to be successful, because I'm pretty sure all of us are far from it, but all of us are more than capable. Mm-hmm. And you do not need to spend a shit ton of money to be successful. So when I say all these things like camera, tripod, all that, work with what you have now until you can invest. I used a rock. I used sticks to be my tripod. I set my camera up on the windowsill. I used the timer. I did not have the extra money to invest in all this in the beginning, but I still made it happen. You know, I was like, how can I make this work for me now? And then when I could invest, I did. Okay. That's all I have.
Holler. You crushed it, girl. Does anybody have any questions? I'm sure you're like, oh my God, I can't do this, but just one day at a time. The most important thing I think is lighting, honestly.
Yes, that's what I wrote. If I could give you guys my number one takeaway, it is find the correct lighting before you take the photos.
Always.
Find the lighting, then take a shit ton, because the first image is never the one you go with. And if it is, you are a genius at photography.
I know. That's so true.
Is that a hand raise?
I
liked it.
Who has any questions for
Audrey? Does Audrey?
I have something. I have a hand raised. I'm so polite. So I wanted to give a tip about the music on the videos for like when you do have to do your workout videos. That I know Bree's doing research into SoundCloud. There is an actual host section of SoundCloud that has licensed public domain music. There's also channels on YouTube that are completely it's basically people created this music and they're willingly putting it on these channels for free. So they're not copyrighted. So like awesome techno music, anything that you're into, you can go find that.
Cool.
So just search for it. And then you can just keep like a couple different MP3s in your phone to pick from, you know? Also, the caption in all the photos is like such a duh. And I'm like, I want to point out to everyone, don't ever miss a team call. Even if the topic is like, you're like, oh, I've already heard 1,000 team calls on this topic. And my coach is the one giving the team call. So fucking duh. Like I know that. But here is the proof is that I haven't even thought of, nor have I heard about, put an epic post caption in your profile pictures and your featured photos. So don't miss any of these calls, because if you're truly being a sponge, you'll still hear things that you never heard before.
So true.
That's all I wanted to say.
Love it.
And with that, in the profile photos and the timeline covers, I went back through them and I added different posts and excerpts and opportunity posts and old ones. So when people because people creep us, we're adding random people. They're going to click our profile picture and they're going to be like, who the fuck is this girl? So if I have an opportunity post or glimpses of my story in the captions of every single one of those photos, they're going to get exposed to it. And maybe they'll read it, maybe not. But like, I'd rather take the chance than not.
Right.
What else?
What else?
I'm gonna read the comments or the chat.
All I gotta say is because of Kandace's consistency, guys, whenever I talk to her, I'm telling you, she has 50 plus messages waiting for her. She doesn't message people. People message her because she stayed consistent with this, and she cares so much about the pictures because that is what people look at.
Brittany Romine said that she didn't know I still screened my photos. So when her and I went on an adventure together, I was setting up my GoPro tripod, and she thought she was going to take my photo, and I was like, no, we're going to do this together. So I set the video up on high quality and not the selfie mode, like the front. So that way it was the highest quality possible. And I like looked at it to where the frame was. So I knew exactly where we needed to be in the photo, like according to what the grounds looked like, where I needed to go stand. Cause I'm like that. And we walked over to it and then we did our little jump photo. And then I came back and I screenshot just our jump from that video. And then that's a badass photo. So like you can do the video thing too, to get high quality photos, and it will change your life because you don't have to use this side of your phone. Cause this is the side that the camera kind of sucks. So if you use this one, you like set it up to where, you know, you want it to be, and then take a video, do a couple poses, do a couple things, and then go back through and just screenshot the video and be like, that's a good one. Because they're higher quality.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah. So basically go dye your hair purple, get tattooed. I'm just kidding. I was thinking about getting my hair colored crazy, but I was like, I just cut it. I need to relax for like a couple months.
Yeah, you're still riding on the short haircut. People love that.
I am riding on it.
But it's fun. I mean, it's fun to change. For this business, I can't stress enough how important it is to change your look. And I know that people will be like, I don't want to change, it's me. But like, if you're not changing and growing and refreshing your vibe, it's just going to get stagnant. You know, I mean, this is a business of marketing ourselves, not products, ourselves. So we need to be changing and evolving and growing and just being different. And like, it's fun, you know, like you're your own boss. You can have purple hair if you want. I could have never had purple hair before. I would have gotten fired. I could not have a tattoo before, you guys, not even on my hands, not on my arm, not on my, like, I would have to wear turtlenecks with gloves to work. Like, I could not do any of this stuff before. So it's fun. Like, take advantage of it, right?
I love it.
What else?
What else, guys? We have like a couple more minutes. 9:30 is
Just
good.
wanted to say thank you for coming on tonight, and I love this call.
Yay! I knew you would. I can't even see it. I can tell it's Michelle talking now.
Thank you. You always support. You're like my cheerleader on my posts. I'm like, Haley, who is this girl?
Yeah, I'm like, she loves you.
I think I like really liked your photos, Kandace, and I started following you a while ago, and like how you market them is just, yeah.
But you do the same thing now, Michelle. Your pictures are all friggin' amazing. So give yourself some credit, girl.
Thanks.
I did want to say about the importance of changing yourself and changing your look and trying new things, even if you do like stutter and mess up and everything. I was listening to Megan Ingelston? She's one of the top coaches in her Diamond Push right now. And I was listening to her video, and she was explaining how it's so important for us to go ahead and be thinking in the mindset to breed leaders. And we do that by showing them that we're not perfect and they can do it too. So like even my, like me just changing my hair from black to gray shows people that it's okay. And then they see all the love that they get from it. And that I don't, have a bunch of weird haters and stuff. And they're like, oh, okay, I guess it is to change and do crazy stuff. I don't do my singing videos to prove that I can sing. I do them so people see that I constantly mess up and that you can still do brave shit and be successful.
I love it.
Love.
Well, Kandace is in our team page now. I finally plopped her in there. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to tag her. Sorry about that, Kandace, but
No, I get it. I mean, I'm an introvert, so I can't really ask questions until like a day or two later because I need all my information to process. And then I'm like, oh. So yeah, definitely write them in the comments or whatever. I'll post the recording up there too. So if any of your coaches or anybody wasn't on here that wants to watch it, it'll be available via YouTube.
Well, I really hope that you guys found something in here to help you. I know that because of her, my Instagram is like totally changed. So I guess thank you all so much for showing up. And thank you so much, Kandace, for all those friggin' amazing tips. Super helpful. And I guess have a good night.
Thank you for having me. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Love you all.